Cris, the dominant story of the day, the Russell Wilson contract, getting his money from the Seattle Seahawks, set that deadline. It worked. He has a 5-year, $157 million deal. And last Friday, Big Cat and I debated whether or not Russell Wilson should be the first guy that a team says no thanks to as it relates to paying that market-setting money to a franchise quarterback. Clearly, Russell Wilson wasn't. Is there a guy out there you're thinking of that could be the first one? Because at some point it feels like one of these teams is going to say, we're getting off of this treadmill. We're not going to put all this money into one player. We can't afford to do it and have a competitive team. So no, we refuse to pay a franchise quarterback market value money. Do you think there's a team out there that would do it?
I mean, I'm hoping there is. I feel like, again, I know I've said this, a few times over the last week, but the proof is in the pudding in recent history. With teams with quarterback-friendly deals being in the Super Bowl or the Final Four or whatever you want to talk about. I mean, this year is a perfect example. First of all, New England all years. Brady has a quarterback-friendly deal. Their roster is complete. It's got great depth. Patrick Mahomes was in the AFC Championship game. Rookie deal. Jared Goff in the Super Bowl. Rookie deal. The Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl last year. Rookie deal with Carson Wentz and Nick Foles being paid as a backup. Also that year, Blake Bortles, Case Keenum not making huge money. They were in the Final Four. All the years the Seattle Seahawks with Russell Wilson, the 2 years they were in the Super Bowl. What else am I missing? The Ravens 49ers matchup. Kaepernick versus Flacco. They were on rookie deals. So when will a team have the guts to do it? I don't know. I mean, who are we going to say? Is Marcus Mariota? I don't think he's going to get a big franchise deal unless he just absolutely blows us out of the water this year. So is
he a franchise quarterback?
No, that's right. That's where I'm like, so where do we draw the line here? No, I think the guys that we know are franchise quarterbacks, it won't happen to, I guess is what I'm saying. But those guys that are on the fringe, I think we are getting towards the time where teams are going to go, you know what? Let's move on. We don't need to have a fringe franchise guy taking up 20% of our salary cap.
We saw Washington do it with Kirk Cousins after paying him $20 million under the franchise tag 1 year and $24 million the next year. That's when they finally decided to cut the cord on Cousins, and they've been, if Alex Smith doesn't get injured, the quarterback position is taken care of. But more recently, they've been floating around trying to figure out what they're going to do. But I think about Jared Goff.
Yeah, I know.
And look, regardless of what you think of Jared Goff as a player, is he really good enough to merit the kind of gigantic investment that he may want, especially when you consider that Sean McVay, the coach of the Rams, could find another quarterback and be more likely to coach him up into a great player? It's one thing for Pete Carroll, a defensive coach, to bail on Russell Wilson and try to groom a young quarterback. McVay can do it in his sleep. And whether it's Kirk Cousins, who will be available after 2 years, or whoever else may be out there, I could see Sean McVay having the confidence that he could get another guy to play at the same level that we have seen Jared Goff play. I mean, you think about the team that McVay inherited. He took a bunch of guys he didn't pick that weren't his guys. They were Jeff Fisher guys, and he's made them into a great offense. Maybe he could do that much better and more effectively with guys that he had a clear input in bringing to the team in the first place, and maybe that's what he would like to do deep down at the quarterback position, and maybe Jared Goff will demand so much that it makes it easier for McVay to say, we're just going to go this rookie or different veteran route other than paying Jared Goff big money.
Yeah, he was certainly one name that came to my mind, yes, because Jared Goff, again, he's a number one pick. I know they went to the Super Bowl and all that. He's in the top half of football in quarterbacks, but he's not in the top 10. He's somewhere between 10 and 16, I would say, if I just had to roughly list the quarterbacks. Yeah, and do you really want to break the bank? But the other element to that is, of course, the fan base is going to look at Jared Goff and go, well, since he's been our quarterback, we've turned things around. And there's going to be that public pressure and kind of perception out there, let alone he's also a Southern California kid, which I think even adds to the pressure more when you play for a team in Southern California to begin with. So, I don't know. I don't know if the Rams will have the guts when all's said and done, but I really can't wait for a team to have the guts and make this type of move.
Well, but the thing is, it's our guts and their blood, because if you do make that move and you go all in with a young guy, you put a ton of pressure on him and you put your job on the line. If you let that franchise quarterback walk away and your franchise disintegrates without him, you're going to hear a lot of "I told you so."
Yeah, right.
And you're going to hear a lot of "I told you so," and you're going to hear you're fired eventually from the owner of your team, because chances are owners are notoriously conservative in the NFL, and I'm not talking about politically. I'm talking about doing the safe thing. The safe thing is keeping that franchise quarterback that all these other teams are desperate to find. You have one. You find a way to keep that guy.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.